Hi, I'm Garry Leeson, and they tell me that I just won the Margaret and John Savage First Book Award for nonfiction. Go figure. What an honor. I can't believe that this has happened. And I've been thinking about how this all came to be. Firstly, I have to tell you that anything that comes out of our house is a team effort. My wife Andrea edits the bejesus out of everything that I write, and it must have her stamp of approval on it before it goes any further. Aside from that, I'm just thinking about how the Dome Chronicles came to be. And to make the point, also, this book has got all kinds of photographs in it, and all the photographs are done by Andrea, except the ones that she's in, and there are very few. Anyway, this all began by me telling my kids stories. And then I started to write the stories down. And then I discovered a local newspaper called The Grapevine. And then I found some people who would be willing to publish these stories. So the Dome Chronicles literally began itself as a serial in The Grapevine. Now, after I had published maybe, maybe 100 stories or something like that, my two daughters, Zoe and Emily, said, "Dad, you should make that into a book." And I said, "Oh, yeah, that's pretty complicated." Anyway, Zoe and Emily decided that they would contact Arts Nova Scotia and tell them what I wanted to do. I said, "Oh, well, go ahead." Anyway, they did, and Arts Nova Scotia thought it was a really good project, so they funded me to begin the book. And I did. And when I got it done, I submitted it to some publishers who didn't think all that much of it. But then one day, I happened on to a man named Ernest Hadley, and he has a publishing company called Nevermore Press. He and his wife Annie were a couple that had moved from the US to start a new life in Nova Scotia, and he was so supportive to me. Unfortunately, just after I was notified that I was shortlisted for this award, he passed away. And so everybody is thinking of him all the time when we're taking credit for this book. Anyway, I wanted to continue and tell you about the people that helped me out along the way. And a lot of the people that were encouraging to me were the people who were actually in the book. It turned out that The Grapevine, it's an arts and culture magazine, turned out that it wasn't going into the typical hands that it normally went into. A lot of the local farmers and stuff who happened to be in the book would be reading the book as well and encouraging me to continue. One time in particular, a neighbor, Margaret, was in at her doctor's office, and that's where a lot of these grapevines ended up. And she was sitting waiting with several people, and one person was reading the grapevine, and she was reading a story called Donald's Dilemma. And when she finished reading it, she turned to the person with her and said, "Do you think that's really true?" And Margaret Morris piped up, "You're damn right. That's my husband." And so it's people, that's what really made me feel good about continuing with the book. And I think that I was able to describe the people the way they really were and really are, in addition to telling what we were up to during the period. Yeah. So special thanks again to Ernie and Annie and Jamie of Nevermore Press. And oh my God, I almost forgot, I've got a new book coming out, and Moose House is publishing, and it's called The Secret of the Spring, and you don't want to miss it.